I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. But you guys have given me no choice, because I want to know when gamers got so complacent that we cheered for this. We cheered for this. We gave this a standing ovation at E3. That you are now able to play your Xbox 360 games, which you could already play circa 8 years ago. You are going to give this a standing ovation because you are allowed to play this on your Xbox Ones. Let me break something down to you. I'm going to tell you why this agitates me to such a degree. You guys are getting happy that they just now gave you a standard affair feature that should be standard until this console generation where everyone had a mental relapse. But this is what we're getting hyped for. The fact that you now have the ability to do something that you're already able to do on a less powerful console. Yeah, okay. Less powerful console. You're okay. Okay. 2. Most of the games that you are going to be willing to play on this system are already being ported, have some sort of HD remake, or part of some collector's set that is already going to be available or already planned to be available on the Xbox One any damn way. Now, also, the other reason, remember this console right here, the Xbox 360 that you're so happy to get your hands on your Xbox Ones? Okay. This also had backwards compatibility with the original Xbox. And there was a short list. This very small, finite list of things that you were able to play. Every now and then you have a gem like Jet Set Radio. And given the current list for the Xbox One from what they're able to play on the Xbox 360's backwards compatibility, I counted not 1 but 2 Viva Pinata games. Yeah. Viva Pinata. Arriba, motherfucker. Arriba. So, we're hyped for this. Something that we can already play, and I guarantee you it will not be 100% backwards compatible. So, for anybody who's trying to tell me that every Xbox 360 game ever made will be compatible, get it out of here. Get that ass banned. But no, we're going to be hyped for that. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Well, remember, 90% of those games that you really love, you remember the multiplayer experience? Yeah, most of those games are dead now because the Xbox 360 is being replaced with the Xbox One. Yeah, remakes aren't really what they are today when everything's online. Games die quicker. You lose reasons to play once the community moves on and fizzles out. Yeah, but we'll see how that pans out in the future now, won't we? Because you got your Master Chief collections, your Gears collections, and things of that nature. A new Fable game coming out. A new Forza Motorsport. Where all the online communities of those older games are moving on to the newer ones. But Xbox 360, though! Yeah. Bravo. Bravo. So let's talk Sony for a little bit. Now, everyone says that Sony had the best E3 conference in the history of life because E3 was amazing and Sony killed it and Sony destroyed Microsoft and destroyed Nintendo. Look, destroying Nintendo this year is not really something I'd brag about because Nintendo was just absolute shit, but we'll get into that in the third act of this video. As for Sony, they had The Last Guardian. That's about it. Because everyone's like, but Final Fantasy VII, the Final Fantasy VII remake, it's finally here. Let me start off by saying this. When the fuck did that game become exclusive? Don't worry, I'll wait. I hear nothing because it's not exclusive. I don't know if you noticed this, but it is a multiplat. And it finally adds to the theme song, Sony and the multiplats. Sony and the multiplats. Because that's what we got. Sony and the multiplats. Because if you did not read, and I'm sure a lot of you didn't, on those title slide cards at the end of the trailer, it says coming first to the PS4. And if it's coming first to the PS4, that means it is coming second and third somewhere else. It is not an exclusive, so skirt! Talk in hand, stop yourself, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because many of you have already plummeted downhill on that one, saying that the PS4 is the only console powerful enough to display the magnitude of the awesomeness and the epicness of Final Fantasy VII. And you'd be wrong. So moving on. As we said, Last Guardian was good, but then you got to the big bomb that everyone wants me to talk about. Shenmue 3. As much as I would like to say Shenmue 3 stole the show and was the greatest thing of all time, because all of you posted on Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Uvu, any type of social media or media networking site on this planet was utilized to further the momentum of this beast known as Shenmue 3. And although I would love to sit here and be that guy who's just blindly following and throwing all caution to the wind and saying I accept this and I want this and this is going to be the cornerstone of E3 and this is the moment that made me just jizz in my pants, it's not because I remember the last time we all kind of got happy and hype about someone saying this is going to be a spiritual successor or a sequel to something. Keiji Inafune's Mighty No. 9, how's that turning out for you guys? Because everyone I know who donated money to that project has regrets right now. I'm not saying that Shenmue 3 is destined to follow the same trend. I'm just saying you can't say it saved Sony when Sony doesn't even know if it's going to work, if it's going to live up to the expectations, and if it's truly going to succeed and blow everybody's motherfucking mind. Right now, we are working off of blind faith, and last I checked, blind faith really isn't going to do too much. I remember we all had blind faith in games at some point that we thought were going to be awesome, and then we got them, it was complete and utter dog shit. That fear right now is deep within my heart. And the fact that we don't have any original IPs coming out there, but, you know, that's just me, because, I mean, last we checked, guys, what's the lowest numbered game that we saw out there was Dishonored 2. I mean, everything else is on 3, 4, 7, 15 remakes of the 7th game. I just find that amazing, to be fairly honest with you. That we've gotten to a point to where there's nothing really new culminating. And until something new comes out there, the old will only be able to satisfy us for so long. And once we're at the end of that fucking rope, ladies and gentlemen, I feel sorry for what the fuck the gaming industry is going to have to do then. I really, really fucking do. Because you can tell they're running out of fucking ideas. Because Nintendo, what the fuck was this? What the fuck was this? This right here in my hands? Good game. Good collection of games. Metroid Prime Trilogy. Love you, Samus. Godlike. What the fuck was that shit that you aired? That wasn't Metroid Prime. That was ass. That was gobbledygook. That was bullshit. That was cuckoo muffins. Don't even know what the fuck a cuckoo muffin is. Don't Google it. It doesn't exist. I just made the shit up. It's a cuckoo muffin. What the fuck is that? What on earth? You look up that trailer right now for, what was it, Metroid Prime Galactic Force? Bullshit. Or Federation Force. It's garbage. It looks like if it wasn't even tied to the Metroid brand, it could have been something that people cared about. And people would be like, the shooter. Alright, we'll see what's going on. But when you arbitrarily just slap the Metroid title on it, I'm sitting here like, the fuck? It's not Metroid. That's the first thing that you think, is that it's not Metroid. Don't put it on there if it's not Metroid. If it was something else, I'm sure we would have been all rah, and everything. Because I guarantee you right now, it's Split 2 was called Metroid Prime Paint Wars. There would have been a whole different motherfucking reaction to how that game was perceived. Not saying that what the game was that they showed was going to be a bad game, but it's not fucking Metroid. Turn that shit the fuck off. It's garbage. Don't you do this to me. Yes, that makes me sore in my rectum and my anal cavity. It makes me the butt hurt. But I'm telling you right now, that shit was gobbly fucking gook. Okay, get this shit out of my fucking face. Now, moving forward on the more pressing matters, Nintendo actually showed new Star Fox 8. That's about all I can really say about the new Star Fox game. Yeah, I got one. Ooh, yeah, I got one. So, Nintendo fell off the face of the fucking earth. I don't know what the fuck their conference was doing. I don't know what they were trying to do, who they were trying to impress, but it didn't impress me. So, them motherfuckers get an F. They fucking failed. Sony just gets like a C-. I mean, they tried. They did things. Sure, they got the hype going and the blood flowing with a couple of things, but when you sit back and you think about it, multi-plats, couple of exclusives, but none of them really jumped up the page to me that weren't named The Last Guardian. So, Last Guardian, turn up! And Microsoft got a C. They brought a volume of games. They're finally supporting the indie scene, I guess. And other than that, standard affair. Your Fable game, your Forza game, your Halo game, your Gears game. Woo! Mysterious. But I'm sure some of you are going to be like, best E3 ever! Backwards compatibility! Or something like that. Don't worry, I'm sure.